Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email Mary at marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mary D. Show. I can tell you right now, first of all, hi, live viewers. Those of you that are seeing the show live. Hi, replay viewers. If you're watching the replay, you know, I cannot tell you, as you know, thank you for your support. Whether you're live, whether you're replay, if you share it, if you haven't already subscribed to the show, make sure you subscribe. What is it? Like, subscribe, and share. There you go. Like, subscribe, and share. So make sure you do all that and let your friends and family know that we are live 5:45 every Monday. Yay! I get excited. You know, I think I get excited. I don't know if I told you guys the story, how I got started. Woo! It's a story. But before we do, let me say to our executive producer, hi, babe. Oliver Welch is in the background. Those of you know, Oliver is very quiet, but he's there. He's very supportive. I can tell you that right now. So I wanted to make sure I said that. But I want to also to just tell you that, like I said, the quick story of how did this show come to be? Let me tell you. It came to be because I was scared. I know. You would think, you would say, yeah, right. No, I was scared. I was so afraid to go live. I was so, many of you, or some of you know, I say some of you know, the day I went live, I literally sat here and just looked at the screen for 45 minutes. And I thought, I think if I looked hard enough, it's going to go live by itself. And it didn't. I had to push the button. Nobody was going to do it for me. Nobody made me do it. I did it because I was afraid. I was literally shaking. That's how bad it was. I was like trembling. And I finally said, okay, you have to get over your fear. And I think I was just afraid that people would say something bad, or you don't know what you're afraid of sometimes. But I was just afraid. But anyway, long story short, I went live. I just went on and just click and went live. So I tell you, this is what I've learned after that, just from that experience. I call all of my sons number one sons. So this is the second number one son. His name is Bradley. And I said, Bradley, he just happened to be live when he was there when I went live. And so at the end, he calls me, he goes, Mom, you need to keep doing this. I said, really, son? I said, did you see me shaking? He said, he goes, I couldn't even tell you were even nervous. I said, no, I was nervous, but I needed to get over that hump. And the only way to get over it was to do it. I was trying to get over it without doing it. And that's not how you got to do it. You got to do it. There's no way around it. So I would tell any of you, whatever it is that you are afraid of and afraid of doing, number one, I would tell anybody, you got to face it. You got to face it. That's the hard part. You can't get over it and you haven't faced it. You haven't come face to face with it. So you got to face it. That's number one. Number two is sometimes the things that you're fearing, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So just know you think it's bad and then you find out it wasn't that bad at all. At least that's what I found out. Now it's it's got to be getting close to 4 years now. I've been online. And I just every Monday, the willies are gone, the fear is gone. I just have fun, and that's it. Now think about it. Before, fun wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even, I was too scared to have it. Now I just love it. I love talking to people, sharing with you different people they're on. Even sometimes when I don't have anybody on in the tool, and we can just talk, and we get to just ask. You guys get to ask questions, and I don't have all the answers. I have some, but I just enjoy it when we talk too. We've been, we have guests. Ooh, they're lining up now. They are lining up. We have guests like the next few weeks, I think. So we'll see. But don't worry. I always try to put in a show where it's just the two of us too. I said the two of us. That's me and you, the audience, and we can talk. Those are always good shows too. It's you know what I noticed? Sometimes those are the biggest shows. I don't know why. I've never figured that out. But it's real. But that's okay. That's still okay. We still can converse. I can tell you that. So anyway, now we're gonna get down to what do they call it? Bear tax? Is it bear tax? Is it not bear tax? What is it called? Brass tax. That's what. Brass tax. I said bear tax. It's brass tax. Anyway, so I wanted to go over with you who our guest is for today. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, she is a phenomenal lady. So I'm going to read you her bio, and then we'll get started. For those of you that don't know, her name is Dr. Trudy Coleman. She is one of the founder of Juneteenth America. So, founder and CEO Dr. Trudy Coleman experienced her first Juneteenth celebration in 1990, started by the Black Teachers Association in Pomona, California. Back then, it was called the Juneteenth Music Celebration. Her co-founder and business partner, John Thompson, who celebrated Juneteenth in Kansas City, Missouri, invited her to the celebration. She was so enthused with the new information about Juneteenth. The freedom of African Americans wasn't the 4th of July, which only freed the land, not the people. She, along with co-founder and president John Thompson Sr., along with other community members, founded and formed the 501c3 nonprofit organization in 1995, Juneteenth America Incorporated. They wanted to bridge unity into the community. And Dr. Coleman was so excited about Juneteenth at that time that she became intensely involved and dedicated her life to letting the public share this historic day in history. The organization wanted a legal holiday and a museum to share their culture. She has over 30 years in computer technology experience, over 12 years of real estate sales and mortgage lending expertise, and over 30 years of special events planning and marketing experience. She has earned her MBA degree from the University of Laverne in 2006 and a certificate of Organizational Leadership and Management 2008. And she earned her BS degree from Azusa Pacific University in 1995. She has 2 doctorates. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Not one, but 2. One from Wordwise Institute of Ministries and from Next Dimensions University, located in Rancho Cucamonga. While making these great accomplishments, she has been a caregiver for her mother since 1995 to 2001. Her oldest sister, medical overseer for 4 years, her second to the oldest sister for over 11 years, and presently caregiving for another sister daily. Her life has been in a giving mode for over 40 years, dedicated to family. She has been divorced and has a 36-year-old son and 1 grandchild. The Mobile Arts Center Incorporated, or JETMAC, her nonprofit organization formed in 2005, is called Juneteenth Educational Technology Mobile Arts Center. She established a scholarship in the name of her cousin, Phineas Newborn Jr., Music Arts Fund, where they encourage students to do essays and jazz music appreciation. Dr. Coleman has been to the White House twice to meet President Clinton and President Bush Jr. to discuss the National Juneteenth Freedom Day. There they got the Black Music Month instead, declared by President Bush. Finally, after 14 years of hard work and collaboration with other Juneteenth movements and advocates, the Juneteenth National Freedom Day was enacted by President Bush. If you like to reach Dr. Trudy Coleman, you can contact her by email at trudycoleman@jetmacincorporated.com or jetmacincorporated@gmail. Or you can call her at area code 909-418-8530. 909-418-8530. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would say I'd like to welcome to the stage, but we're having technical difficulties today. So I can see right now as I'm looking at that Dr. Coleman is not available. And hold on. Just give me a minute. I'm going to mute you out. Just give me a second and see. Let's see if we can figure out what's happening. Yes, Val?
Yeah, Mary, we have the insurance company on the line. They need the name of the ship and the destination.
Okay, it is Quantum of the Seas.
Quantum
of the Seas, and it is going to Ensenada, Mexico.
Okay.
Ensenada.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well. Oh, you guys could hear everything. We're talking anyway. What can I say? It's okay. We are having connection problems because I'm watching Dr. Coleman try to connect and hasn't been able to connect. So anyway, but we're gonna just go and I'll wait till she pops in and we'll go from there. But I did want to talk to you guys about I think those of you, first of all, we go to our comments here. And this is Jazzy. She says she has a sweet auntie. Jazzy, that's so sweet of you, sweet. And she has Uncle Oliver. That is so sweet of you, Jazzy. I tell you, Jazzy is on it, ladies and gentlemen. Our niece does not play. They said no games are played here. She's not playing no games. So if you celebrate Juneteenth, first of all, let me ask, does everybody know what Juneteenth is? And we're still watching for Dr. Coleman to come in. Don't worry, I'm looking at the monitor here, and it's just we're having technical problems. Look, that happens. That's life. I've just learned you don't worry about those kind of things. If it happens, if I'm praying she comes in, and she probably will. She'll pop in, but we're trying to figure out what the problem is of why she hasn't popped in. But technical problems are very real. Have you guys done? I know you have. Everything is looking fine, but it's still not working. It happens to all of us, that kind of thing. But so if you have celebrated or you know what Juneteenth is, can you leave a comment in what is it and why do we celebrate it? For those of you that know, what is Juneteenth? Just what is it? You guys know? Anybody know? Anybody want to leave a message in the comments? Okay. I don't see any messages. I'm going to wait. Juneteenth is the day that during slavery, the slaves in Texas did not know they had been freed, if I remember correctly, since January, but nobody had told them. They didn't find out. So they had worked from January till June 19th, and they didn't know they were free. Nobody, the farmers didn't tell them. And so what happened was the cavalry came and let them know you are no longer slaves and you are free. And that's what Juneteenth is. So it's really truly, you could say, the official date at the end of slavery, even though Lincoln had freed the slaves earlier in the year. But remember, they didn't have the communications things that we have today. So people were on horseback and they had probably the Pony Express, if they had that, but news had to go kind of by mouth. So I can guarantee you the farmers knew, though. I'm pretty sure they knew, but they didn't tell the slaves that they were free. They didn't say anything to them. So the official day that ended slavery is June 19th. That's the official day everybody was free. But the day Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation would have been, I think, was January of that same year. So, but don't quote me on any of this because I'm not looking at the actual documents. So I'd rather know for sure. But I know the history, but I don't know the timelines for sure. So I don't want you to say, well, Mary said there's no, don't go by that. I'm giving you kind of roundabout details without being very specific. And that's why I'm really wanting to have Dr. Coleman. She can get down to specifics of why Juneteenth exists. What is it? As I said before, I know some of it, but I'm sure she knows a lot more than I do about it. And I'm sitting here watching to see, but it's definitely something technical. I guarantee you that has happened there. Okay. And Jazzy says, celebrating the end of slavery. Thank you, Jazzy. It does. It celebrates the end of slavery. That's exactly right. So we're really fortunate to have, I mean, you think about, if it wasn't at that time, it wasn't for the cavalry coming to let the slaves know, who knows what would have happened, and who knows what the end result could have been, that kind of thing. So that makes a big difference too, as to how people get notified of different things. So, and so that is what the Juneteenth celebration is all about. In case anybody wasn't aware of why you may say, what is Juneteenth? Because I'm pretty sure everybody doesn't know what it is. And you can't assume people do know, why do people celebrate that? Why is it so important? That's why, because it was the end of slavery in Texas. Now it could have been, I know that was Texas. It could have been other states, but I know for a fact Texas was one. That was definitely a state that was affected by Juneteenth. So it could have been other states. If there would have been southern states, because those of you that know history, the South had succeeded from the North, had said, we're going to start our own country. We're going to have our own president, and we're going to do things our way, the way we want to do. We don't need to be. That's what all of this is. What led to the Civil War. This is why we had a Civil War. So we were fighting ourselves. Think about that. Think about what that real Civil War. We were Americans fighting Americans. That's really what happened. During the Civil War, there were father against son. There were uncles. There were brothers against brothers. They would actually go in the battlefield. If your brother or there's a family member on the opposite side, they would not fire. They would let them go in the middle of the field and exchange letters and then go back and then fight. They let them do that. They let them exchange letters in the middle of the field for those that had family members on opposing sides. Now, sometimes they fought on the same side, but sometimes they didn't. Oh, I think. I see words. Hold on. I see the words, but I don't see your face yet. And this is for Dr. Coleman. I don't know. I see the words. I don't know. Let's see. If I put you on the stage, let's see. Can add you to the stage. Can you hear me? Nope, that's not it. Let me take that down. Oh, okay, here we go. Whoops. There we go. We're getting closer though. And Jazzy, what'd you say? You said, we are all grateful to those who in slavery and survived in war and the military. Yes. Yes, we are, Jazzy. So this would have been after the Civil War. That's when this happened. So the Civil War is over. Lincoln has signed the Emancipation Proclamation, and still you had individuals that were not free. Think about that. Think about that. That is really, it's tragic, but it's that's what happened, and that's why we have Juneteenth, because people were still not free after that. So we are coming upon Juneteenth next month. Next month is June. You'll see Juneteenth celebrations, and people will be celebrating. Many people are from Texas or born in Texas. So, let's see what we got here. Oh, you disappeared. She came up and disappeared before I could click the button. So, but I was going to just go over the what that meant. We was talking about the Emancipation Proclamation. You know, when we start talking history, ladies and gentlemen, I love history. I'm a history buff, really. I think it's just always, it fascinates me, because even whatever you're reading, there's so much more in the background, in the things you don't know about. I know when I was watching the movie Lincoln, for those of you who haven't seen it, and what Abraham Lincoln always did, he always let everybody come into his office and talk to them about their opinions. And then guess what he did? About whatever is going on when he got their opinions. He always listened to them. Now, what they didn't know, he had already made up his mind what he was going to do. They didn't know that part. They just know, oh, Lincoln had me in their office. He wasn't going to do what they wanted to do. But guess what he did? They can all say, he let them say their piece. He let them say whatever it was they had to say. So that's what it is. And that's what's so important, is that he let them do it. It wasn't anything that they could change once he made up his mind. I mean, but it was still, they can say that he heard them. And I think sometimes maybe that's missing in our society right now, is that. But I don't want to get into politics, because, and I know this is just, we are in trying times. That's what I'll say, ladies and gentlemen. We are in trying times. And that's why I said I don't want to get into it, because we could be here all night talking about politics. And I'd rather not do that. I know you guys may say, why not? Why not talk about it? Oh my goodness. I watch, those of you that watch, what I watch, MS Now, and I watch CNN. Between those two, I try not to watch too much. I try to limit it to maybe 30 minutes a day, maybe. So I get, a clump of news or whatever. And I try to really listen to that. But I think I'm going to go back to NPR. For those of you not familiar with NPR, National Public Radio, I haven't listened in a while, but I think I want to go back to start listening to NPR and really start, because I used to always listen to it when I was teaching. It would on the way to work. That was on the radio all the time, National Public Radio. And it'd be so interesting. Those of you familiar with NPR, National Public Radio, it's fantastic. It really, really is. And they have, if you watch on TV, they'll have symphonies and stuff. It's just excellent. Are we donors right now? We've been donors to NPR. I don't know if we are now, right this second, but I know we've donated to them, because I just totally believe in it. I really do. I think that it is just really, it has really good movies, stuff like that. Now, how did I get on NPR? Oh, we start talking about the news. That's how. Okay. So what is, I've talked to you about Juneteenth, which we'll probably, looks like we're going to have to reschedule. I'm not sure if we do or not. We may have to. I'm looking to see if we're going to have to. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to. Oh, I'm looking at this. I think we have to reschedule Dr. Coleman. Oh, okay. Just a second. I'm going to have to go. You guys, just to give me a Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. I'm telling you, I'm just like, because this is a situation that she felt we need to take care of right away. So my apologies to you guys. Anyway, but I see where Dr. Coleman is still trying to get into the show. She's just really having technical problems. And this does happen. I'd be the first. I know. She said, okay, here she left the comment. The sound went off. Oh, okay. We're gonna probably have to reschedule. Let me just tell you that now. We have to reschedule. So, okay. Like I said, I'm just giving you guys an overview of Juneteenth. She's gonna give you a lot more history than I'm ever giving you. I'm just giving you some kind of the bits and pieces of it, but I will tell you, it has affected, our society by the fact that here it is, people were free. And remember, when they're not just free, you're free and you're a U.S. citizen. That was huge, what Lincoln did. I know I went to the Lincoln Memorial this years ago. I was in Washington, D.C., and I went to the Lincoln Memorial, and I remember seeing, Lincoln sitting on in that seat that you see him sitting in. And I just went up and I just said, thank you. Now I'm saying thank you to Marble. I know what that is, but I was thanking him for having the courage to do what he did. I can't even imagine what strength that took to, as some of you know, I mean, when he abolished slavery, that meant that in the South, they didn't have any workers in the fields. It was very few. I don't want to say none, but there were more slaves to work the fields than anything else. And once you said there's no more slavery, now there's no more labor. They didn't have the machines like they do now. They had horses pulling plows at that time. So they didn't have the workers to work the fields. They no longer had free labor. That's what it comes down to. So now either the farmer has to get in the field, his family somebody has to plow the field, somebody has to do the work that the slaves were doing before that. So it really, once he said, the slaves were free, that was it. The South no longer had the ability to, get the food and everything else in. Nope. I know you said, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. That's Dr. Coleman. We're talking. I can't hear you though. I'm so sorry. I apologize. But don't worry. You'll be back. Don't worry. I'm not worried about it. You will be back and I'll definitely invite you back to do another show. So don't worry about it. And the goal is to get you in before Juneteenth. Don't worry. We'll do another one. So I get to talk. And my audience gets to listen to me. I go on and on, I guess. But so that was why he did it too. It was twofold. There's a couple of reasons. So now that you don't have the laborers in the field, as many of you recognize, and now the farmers who were at war, many of them had to come home and work their fields. Because if they didn't work the fields, they had no money. They had no money. They couldn't feed their families. So it changed the dynamics once the slaves were free, and not only free but U.S. citizens. Think about this. He could have said slaves were free and not U.S. citizens. He didn't do that. He said you're free and you're a U.S. citizen. You're automatically a citizen. So that in itself was huge. But as many of you may or may not know, many slaves starved because, remember, it was illegal to teach you how to read. So what kind of work would you have been able to get? And normally it was labor because you were not educated. And that's where you had many, as they call them, one-room schoolhouses. And you had to learn. I mean, that's when people started sending their kids to school. Because before that, think about it. The children didn't go to school. They worked in the fields. There was no school for them to go to. So everything changed after that. So that was very much a different society for African Americans here in our country. But they recognize the value of an education. They recognize that to be educated, to be able to read and write, and those things are just invaluable. I know in our family, the being able to read was definitely valued. I mean, so much. It really, really, really. I mean, it was one of those. As I remember sharing with you, my words were "Mama, Daddy, college." That was it. I heard that from when I could walk. So I never knew. It was almost like I knew the word college and I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what it meant. But that was it. That's how much they valued education, is that you will get that. That will be something you will have as an education. And that was so important to them. I cannot tell you how. And I think it's for many African American families, I think it still is. It is something it is truly an equalizer. I do believe that. I think without a doubt, I would put it like this: it can't hurt. That's for sure. Some people, and I don't think there's anything wrong with having being an electrician, a plumber. I think all of those skills. What's interesting to me about the people in those fields, they make more money than teachers do. Electricians, plumbers, almost anything in construction does than teachers. So even though the difference is education wise, you can get a skill where you didn't have to go for like teachers 5 years minimum, sometimes 6, but you can get a certificate, or I say not certificate. I don't know. I don't know what the levels are. Let's say to be a plumber. I think it's called a journeyman. I don't know the levels, so don't quote me on any of this. But I know there's different levels you can get. But every time you go up a level, it's more money. It's another title and more money. And all of those matter as to, your skill level with those areas. But what I was always fascinated with, when I would talk to my brother-in-laws and everything else, and they would tell me their income, I'm like, you guys make more money than we do as teachers. And they did. So here it is. But this is what they said. The trade-off is, okay, if it's raining outside, you go to work, you work inside of a classroom. If it's raining outside, I'm still at work, but I may be working out in the rain. And I said, that's true. I hear you. So there's a trade-off in those. But we both have unions. We both, hold on. Oh, it didn't happen. I tell you, Dr. Coleman working. She working. It just hasn't happened yet. But but like I said, don't worry. We're going to reschedule anyway. It's okay. But they still are valuable. You got to have you got to have a trade. There's no way to not, it all fits together. Let me say that. You need to be educated. You still have to read directions. You still have to be able to communicate. You still have to be able, in the trades, a lot of it is math. That's what I have found. And when you're going into construction, it's a lot of math. You got to be good at math in that area of expertise, and you still have to read too. You have to both, but you still got to be good at math. And you still to be an electrician, you have to know what it is you're doing. You got to know that voltage and things that you're working with. So all of it requires an education. There is not one field that doesn't require that. You're gonna need that no matter what. So I would highly recommend, if you've been thinking about going back to school or getting an education, I say go do it. I just talked to one of our granddaughters just about an hour ago. And I told her, I'm writing this, I'm screenwriting. And I was telling her about it. She goes, Nana, she's in school to be an actress. She goes, you need to go start taking classes so you can be an actress. And I said, I'm not trying to be an actress. And me and her talking, I said, I have no desire to do that. And she goes, well, you need to have a desire. She is so just like, she's ignoring me. And I said, no, I think I'm okay. I think so. I'm going back and forth with her. She goes, no, Nana, you need to go to school. You need to go take classes to be an actress. So I'm just like, I just don't, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not, nothing against it. I just never consider myself an actress at all in any way, shape, or form. And she goes, well, you can do, you can start off doing background. Okay. I'm just sitting here going, what part of, I said, I'm not interested. Are you not hearing it? But it really, at the same time, I said, and I did tell her this. I said, you know what? Her name is Nasea. I said, Nasea, I never thought about it. I just never thought about it, never considered it. It's never been on my list of something I wanted to even do. I just never thought about it. And here I am writing movies now, but never ever thought about acting in it. Isn't that interesting? Never even occurred to me. I think I was just like, just leave it up to the professionals. Leave it up to people that this is what they've studied. It's a craft. It is like anything else. You don't just do it one time. They study this. They learn the way you turn and the way the way you lose your eyes. Everything about you is can be used. Let me say that to tell a story. To tell a story. So keep that in mind. I'm telling you that. According to her, I need to keep it in mind. And I thought about it. I said, she's right. I never tried it. Now, wouldn't that be something if I try it and liked it? I never thought about. I never thought about. Never. But as I talked to her, I said, maybe she's right. Try it. You never know. Maybe you'll like it. And then I think, okay, what if I do like it? Okay, let's try. I try it and I do like it. Now what? Now you're going through auditions and you're going through this and you go. I think that's why another reason I just haven't like looked into it. Because then I'm like, then what? Okay. Oh, this is from Dr. Coleman. She said, I've been hearing you since the start and you're doing a great job so far. That is so funny. But don't worry, you're coming back. I'm not even worried about that. You will be back. Don't worry. And then this is from Jazzy. I'm sorry your guest didn't get to join the show, and I hope you have a blessed. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Jazzy, as many of you know, that's my beautiful, beautiful niece. She is in Georgia, in Atlanta. But she's not in Atlanta proper. She's in one of the cities in Atlanta. To me, if you're in Georgia, everybody's in Atlanta. I don't even say anything about the name of other cities. I just call it just Hot Atlanta, and that's the end of that. But that's where Jazzy is. Jazzy probably has to go to bed. She probably has to go to work tomorrow. I'm thinking anyway. But thank you, Dr. Coleman. Thank you for that. Going over, but see, I know you know a lot more about it than I do. I was kind of, giving some basics about Juneteenth, but you're the expert about Juneteenth, and that's what I want to share with them. So I'll make sure you come back before Juneteenth, so that you can really give them the real history and, the nuts and bolts of it. I was just kind of going over, like, I didn't give the name of I forget the colonel's name. I can remember his, I just kind of know a little bit. I know some things about it. But ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to each and every one of you. If you have a topic you want me to talk about or that you would want to share, please send the email to me. Let me put my email up here. Mary D. Welch. Let's just put it right here. Mary D. Welch. There. Let me put that up for you. And there we go. So send it to me. Let's say it's something that you have that's interesting and you would like to share with the audience. What I'm finding is that though I do the show, when the show is cut up into reels, you guys like those reels. You like that. Tell me what I need to know. And you get that information in 2 minutes and you're gone. So I do know that you like the short reels. That's been so interesting to me, how we really like short stuff, which is fine. But I'm still learning of what we like and everything like that. But don't worry, Dr. Coleman, you will be coming back. I just have to get a date, and you will definitely be back on the show without a doubt. Because I tell you, anyone that has studied Juneteenth the way you have, and let me say this to all of you too, the Juneteenth celebration will be at Ganesha Park on June the 20th, and I don't have the time. I have the flyer, but anyway, and I'll talk about it. Don't worry, those of you on the email list, and if you're not on the email list, send an email to mary@marydwelch.com, and you'll be added to the email list. Emails go out at least 3 times a week, and they have different functions that's going on throughout the community. Some are free and some are not, I'll be honest, but I can tell you they're good. This is predominantly for the African American community. I lean toward the African American community, but I do have other communities in there too. I will say that, and just know that it's I want to share information with any community. Anybody that's on the email list is welcome to get that information. The text list is more specific. It is more narrow-minded, I guess, like you could say. You can only get so much on a text. And then people get tired. They're like, oh, I want to read all this, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I do want to thank you. On the text message, it went out to thousands of people, and I got so many Happy Mother Days responses. I cannot tell. It was in the hundreds of people that responded to the Happy Mother's Day that went out. So I want to thank you guys for that. It's heartwarming. It really is. Those that sent the message back, thank you. And even if you didn't send the message back and you were just saying, Happy Mother's Day, it's appreciated. All of your energy. We're all energy, ladies and gentlemen. So don't ever think that we're not. We're energy. So when you send out a good energy and negative energy are real. When you say good things, just think about this. When you go up to someone and you say, and I'm smart, that is such a pretty dress. Wow. Was that good energy or was that negative energy? It was good energy. Anyone that you said to in that tone and everything, they're going to feel so good. They're going to be like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. But what if I said, oh, where'd you get that? Oh, my goodness. So what is that? Negative energy. Every single day. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not perfect. I know you guys think I am. I'm joking. But I would tell you, I try to send positive energy. Why? Remember, you woke up. Everybody that's here woke up. That today. You're alive. You are alive. I went to the services today for a lady who's no longer alive. Her days they're gone. Whatever day or whatever she didn't do, whatever she didn't say, it's gone. And she's a beautiful lady. Beautiful. And some of her favorite words, these are her favorite words, blessed and highly favored. Every time I saw her, she would always say, I'm blessed and highly favored. No matter what. And the truth is, so are you. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't even know how blessed we are. Sometimes we get so caught up in this world that we don't recognize our blessings. We don't acknowledge them. We're living in I don't want to say a rat race, but it is a rat race to a certain extent. So just know you are a blessing just where you are. Just where you are. You are here and you have a chance to do whatever you did not do. You've been given a chance to do that. You've been given a chance to make things better for whatever they are. And you may say, well, everything is good. Everything's excellent. I'm glad. No, I'm sure there's things I need to do better. Nobody has to tell me. Oh, look at Dr. Coleman. She says, we all have a purpose. God expects us to find out what it is and exercise the task and the energy to do it. Thank you. And we need to be reminded of that. I think we forget that. I think we do forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take these days for granted because you can't get them back. Think about this. This is it. Today, it is, what time is it? It's 6:31 on Monday. We will never see this day again. Mm-mm. We will never see this day again. This day is coming on. That's it. All we can do now, we have tomorrow. And that's if we have tomorrow. That's if we get the chance. Think about it. If we live to see tomorrow. We have no guarantees of that. Nobody has a guarantee that I know of. So make the best out of today. Make today your best day. That's why I talk about the positive energy that you exude, that you send out in this world. That energy is like, I think it encircles you. That's what I think. I think all that positive energy. Now, some of you may say you don't believe in God. I think that's a personal preference. That's not for me to tell you what to believe in or anything. That's for you to decide what to believe in. And some of you do believe in God. Some of you don't believe in God. I've met people that did not believe. I am a believer. And I think I've shared that with you. We are all always blessed. You said, Zach? Thank you, Jazzy. So just keep in mind, nobody can tell you to believe, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Nobody can. Nobody can even convince you to believe if you want to know the truth about it. That's a personal decision you get to make for yourself. Your mother can't make it for you. Your father can't make it for you. Nobody can make it for you. And what I've said this time and time again, there's only one person, there's only one soul I can get into heaven. There's only one. That'd be mine. So when I talk about positive energy and everything, that's what I mean about how can you do something daily? And you may say, even if you just speak to people nicely and kindly, it does. I think we think it has to be something big. It doesn't. Have you called somebody and they go, hello? Like when they answer the phone, sometimes I've had people do that. I go, well, I guess they're not having a good day. They answer the phone as if somebody's attacking them. There's no kindness. There's no niceness. All of those. And I think about, they're not having a good day. They're not having a good day. But guess what? If they don't have a good day today, do they have a guarantee they're going to see tomorrow? No. So guess what they just did? The opportunity for today of that energy. This is how and you see me doing like this, because that's why it envelops you. The positive envelops you, but so does the negative. So does the negative. It envelops you. And we can say things without ever speaking. I know you guys already know that. You know that. You know people cutting their eyes at you. How many times oh, please don't get me started on that. You know how we can speak without speaking, people? Everybody know. You're a believer here? Come on, Linda. So am I. So am I. So I would tell you, I can't tell you to be a believer one way or the other. I can tell you this. That energy you exude is real. It's real. It is a real thing. And you know how I know it's real? Because I've seen what it does to people. I've seen it. I've seen when people said something nice and how that person, it's like they're like a flower and they open up. But I've also seen when people said something negative and they close up and they feel some kind of way because of what somebody said. Because of something somebody said. Think about that. Words. The words. They didn't hit them. They didn't throw anything at them. They said words that were negative to them. They were ugly to them. That made them feel bad and hurt their feelings. That's a real thing. So don't ever think that what you say doesn't matter, because it does. Don't ever think that you are not significant, because you are. You really are. And you are powerful. Jazzy said, we are all blessed and grateful for all of the angels above for watching over us and keeping us safe in the hands of all those above. Always know it's your choice. Come on, Jazzy, to believe, because it helps you go very far in life. Tell it, Jazzy. But like I said, I'm not here to tell people to believe. I've never believed that I should be telling you to believe or not believe. I've always believed that this and this, that everybody has a choice. Everybody, yes, it is. Linda said, and hi, Linda. How are you? It is. So I know sometimes I think we don't really realize just how powerful our words are. I don't think we do. I honestly don't. I don't think we understand the power of them. And I am guilty of this. I'm not realizing it. And just recently, one of my sons brought it to my attention. So I've been now very cautious of what I say because I did not realize I was saying something that was negative. And I was like, oh, that's the one thing I tried not to do, but I did it. See what I said? We can do things we don't even know we're doing it. So I would encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, don't do what I did. Like I said, I was saying things, but I didn't know. Oh, Linda, you sent flowers. Oh, thank you. And I had to catch myself. I had to catch myself, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know. I didn't know that I had said something to hurt his feelings. And I didn't mean to. And I apologized to him for that. I said, I'm sorry, I did not mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't. But it did the fact that I did it when I realized it, I think I hurt my feelings more than I hurt his because I was so upset that I did that. So I'm telling you, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me too. I'm not just talking to you. I am talking to me because I make mistakes. I say the wrong thing. I do all the things I'm talking about. I do them too. Because guess what? I'm human too. But I try not to stay there. I try to get past that. I try to, grow from it. I just try to keep going. But I try to learn from it too. Whenever there's a situation like that, I try to learn from it. And I kind of back up and really evaluate me. Why did I say that? What was my goal for saying that? Those kind of things. I evaluate me. So just so you know, I don't want make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have it all together. No, I don't want anybody thinking that because you will be thinking wrong. I make mistakes. I say things I shouldn't say. I tried. Now I'm trying to and I didn't say anything horrible to my son. Don't get me wrong, but I did not say it in a tone of voice that was kind, and I was like, wow. And I'm thinking, just because you're his mother, that doesn't mean you can still be nice. You don't have to say it because you take advantage of that position. That's not how you do things. But I learned from that. I learned something from that. And now it has quieted me to a certain extent, if that makes sense. But it was a learning for me to go through that. It was definitely something I hope I don't soon forget. So always keep in mind that your words are powerful. As many of you know, I wrote the book on saying no nicely. And what does that book say? It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. How you say it is so important. So don't ever think that how you say things is, oh, they don't care. Yes, they do. They care. Oh, yeah, he did. He forgave his mother. But remember, our sons are 45, 43, and 42. They're in their 40s. But no matter what, we're still their parents. And no matter what, when you're still mama, you're still dad. This is what I'm going to speak from what I went through with my mother. I remember the day she was talking to me, and I have two sisters. Many of you may know. I have two other sisters. And we were at her house, and she was speaking to all three of us. in an instant, ladies and gentlemen. It was now remember we're grown. We're adults. How old was I when this happened? I think I was 60 when this happened. In a split second, I went to like I was 5. Immediately, I remember the feeling of that we in that room, we were all in our 50s and 60s, but we turned into 5-year-olds because my mother was speaking to us, and that was it. We didn't. It wasn't even like we were adults anymore. It wasn't like it was just like we were little kids. It was that it wasn't like that. It was truly the parent-child relationship was very evident to me, and we just all. To me, it was almost like we all shrunk down to 5. That's what I felt. So I've learned through that experience that no matter how old you get, when you're in a parental position, you're in a parental position for life, by the way, for life. I don't think it ever changes because my mother was then, I mean, she was in her 70s and I still was like, at all. It wasn't like I said, oh, I'm almost as old as you. I knew better than to say that. I knew, you just in that position is reverence. That's all it is respect and reverence. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I don't even know how I got on the soapbox because I get to talking. You know how that goes, ladies and gentlemen. So anytime I can share, I call it these nuggets of wisdom. I'm gonna share them because somebody, I don't know who in the world needs to hear it. I have no clue, but somebody is going to appreciate it. I don't know who, but I wanted to share that with you. But like I said, and then when I share, what I like about it is that I'm telling you guys about me. I'm not sitting here, like I said, saying I'm all that. We all make mistakes, and it's your choice to get up and try again. Thank you, Jazzy. Jazzy is a super fan. Thank you, sweetheart. I tell you. So just know, ladies and gentlemen, and we have like 1 minute, but I am going to say this totally, just so you know. As you know, Welch Travel Tours. Those of you, if you're traveling, go to Welch Travel Tours. All I ask is that you guys compare prices. I'm not asking you to do anything but that. Compare our prices. You will find sometimes they're lower. 85 to 90% of the time they should be lower. But sometimes they may not be. All I ask is compare. If they're lower, book on Welch Travel Tours. It's the same vendors. They're the same ones. If they're not, then don't. It's really simple. But if it is, just book there. That's all. I would like to share this with school districts because they can save a whole lot of money booking there. They really can because if they do car rentals, hotels, and they do because there's always conferences and things like that going on. So, but I just want to tell each and every one of you, I love you. Thank you for taking time out of your day and listening to me rant and rave today. So just know that come back next Monday. We do have a special guest coming, but we will have Dr. Trudy. Don't worry, she's coming back. So we haven't lost her. We're going to make sure she has a flyer that's going to go out for Juneteenth on the June 20th at Ganesha Park. That's going to go out. It's sponsored by Southern California Edison. They're her sponsor for that event, and it is all free. So I want to make sure. Oh, your mother's birthday is tomorrow? Hold on. It says, she said, my mother's birthday is tomorrow, and she'll be 107 years old. Wow. And she said, love everybody because no one was born bad. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So thank you, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye, everybody. Da-da-da-da-da. Thank you. Dr. Trudy, don't worry. You'll be back. I'm not worried. Oh, I'm sorry. And then Jazzy had another last comment. I wish her a happy birthday and send you both a blessing. Thank you, Jazzy. God bless everybody. Oh, it didn't end.